Welcome back to Built, Not Burnt Out, the podcast where we explore science, stories, and strategies that help you build a healthier life without burning yourself out. I'm your creator and host, Melissa Petersen. I'm an attorney for more than 26 years, a group fitness instructor for more than 22 years, health coach, and founder of the Becoming Method. And I have followed a carnivore lifestyle for more than 4 years, and I'm a proud mom of 10. After overcoming food addiction, chronic inflammation, digestive issues, joint pain, and years of chronic stress through real food and lifestyle change, I've made it my mission to help others understand the lasting transformation. And it's not about willpower, it's about understanding your brain, your body, and creating an environment where true healing can happen. Today's episode is especially exciting for me because we're giving you a behind the scenes look of the upcoming Carni-Con 2026, one of the premier virtual conferences dedicated to the carnivore lifestyle, metabolic health, and power of real food. And I'm honored to be one of this year's featured speakers, where I'm going to be presenting a title talk called Food Addiction is Not Your Fault. And joining me today is Valerie Penney, one of our organizers behind Carni-Con. And Valerie is going to share her own health journey, how she became involved with Carni-Con, and the vision behind this incredible conference, which attendees can expect this year in September, and why this event has become such an amazing resource for people looking to improve their health through real food. Valerie, welcome to Built, Not Burnt Out. And before we talk about Carni-Con, I'd love for our audience to get to know you. Can you tell us about your health journey?
Well, sure. I'll tell you that to start off, I've never had anything really huge. I hear all of these amazing stories about healing, and that is why I'm drawn to carnivore. And I began carnivore because 2 years ago, my husband, who has had health issues, started it. So the thing about it is I did at the same time study wellness. So I was vegetarian for a while. I tried veganism, short while, that lasted 3 weeks. I knew food mattered. I didn't think that it could heal to the degree that I now know it can. So that has been really enlightening. And my husband with Crohn's disease, we had tried things that I thought I knew, right? So it was things like the Dr. Axe healing diet, which is wonderful. It's whole foods. I thought this is going to work, and it didn't. It actually hurt him even more. I felt like I was at a loss. I didn't know what to do for him. His symptoms were getting worse. He's had Crohn's disease. He's done quite a few interviews. You'll probably learn more about him at Carni-Con, but he suffered. And I was also watching him deal with other things. I thought for sure diabetes was in his future, maybe a stroke, maybe heart disease, all the things, because his health was just declining. And being kind of feeling at a loss, when he told me he was going to try carnivore, me with my vegetarian mindset, I was like, yeah, have fun with that. And I wasn't going to touch it. I wasn't going to cook it, but I was glad he was doing it. And one of the things I learned that was really, really cool was that it was simple for me. I didn't have to worry about meal planning. He came home, he grilled, he sous vide his meat. It was kind of ideal in that way. I didn't have the struggles with shopping. I just would run in, grab meat, run out, maybe a little dairy, definitely some eggs. I loved that part of the lifestyle. But for me, I was still eating vegetables for quite a while. It took, maybe a year.
Did that change for you? Did that change for you eventually?
It did. It took probably a year. It was over time, right? Because I was eating dinner with him since he would grill, and I work a lot. We both do, and it's our passion projects that we're working on. I take care of my mom too. He works hard outside of the house, but we've been doing events for many years, so we work on that. And I loved that I could stay focused on my projects. I didn't have to think about meals, but that's part of the reason why I actually just started eating like him. And so he'd come home, he'd grill, he'd cook, I'd eat what he ate. We'd try things, and I'm glad there were things to try. Followed Chris Cooking Nashville, followed Steak and Butter Gal, and several other recipe creators. We would try these things, and they were fun, and it did, for sure, it helped me ease into it. But at the same time, I'm lazy apparently, because I'd rather focus on my work and then being in the kitchen doing all these complex. Some of them are complex, some are quite easy. I love Bella for her think pancakes. I think that was my favorite.
Yes.
We still make those.
Yes. I have a good friend. I just did a podcast. My last podcast was with my friend, and she actually cooks for people. And locally, like people buy stuff that she cooks, and she helps them to transition into keto and carnivore with foods like what you're
That's
talking about.
so beautiful because at first, to wrap your mind around it was kind of I love variety. How am I ever going to think that that's for me to eat just like beef, butter, bacon, eggs? I love
Right.
variety. So I went
Yes.
ahead and I would create these things that I would see on YouTube. But then over time, I was like my taste changed and I would buy something like a gorgeous tomato and it would rot in the fridge. And I would think I'm gonna eat that salad. I would buy these things. It just didn't last very long though because I started learning more and more over time. Learned about oxalates. Learned
Yes.
that these things are not doing me any favors. And I said I didn't have any health issues, and that's true. Like I didn't have a condition like my husband, an autoimmune disorder, or something that was drastic, making me search. However, I did have joint pain. I did have extra weight, which has been melting away over time. And I didn't think there was a solution to either of those things. I thought that's how it was. I actually tried, like these fruit juice concoctions. I've been in direct sales most of my life. I've done events most of my life. I was familiar with a lot of what's on the market. So I would try these things, mangosteen juice and all these other things, thinking this will be the thing. This will help me with my joint pain. And I'm 10 years younger now. I just am. I don't have that
Yes.
anymore at
Yes.
all.
I always say I'm aging backwards, and I
Yeah.
have proof. I have proof.
It's incredible. I have not done any lab work. I have not gone and gotten any proof, but what I have done is I've dug out some clothes that I couldn't wear anymore that I still was hanging on to. And so I'm wearing like my skinny jeans now. Like,
That's
what?
awesome. That's awesome.
It is. It's incredible. It's incredible because it's happening so effortlessly, right?
Right.
Like, and I know. I mean, for me, it was hard. I didn't want to touch meat, so it was hard for me to wrap my mind around it. But I was thrilled that my husband wanted to try it because he needed something. And then for
Right.
me now, that's why Carni-Con actually, because if it has such a huge impact in our life and him, I mean, I thought he was going to have diabetes, right? For sure. He was drinking 3 Cokes a day. I was just,
Wow.
you can't control somebody else's food choices either. So I was just
Oh,
silently suffering watching this thing. And so when he made this decision and stuck with it, oh my gosh, like not a single bit of anything you might call like a variation or a cheat. Like he was on it. He was so
that's
on it.
awesome.
It was meat and salt and water. And within weeks, he lost over 50 pounds. And
Wow.
his insomnia went away. The whole time I've known him, he had insomnia. He changed his personality. I like had this new man. He already had a great personality,
It
but he
is.
became calmer. It was a new person.
Carnivore
I was like,
calm.
who are you?
Carnivore calm.
It was so beautiful. So yeah, then he's the one. It was his idea. He said, "Let's do." I was actually working on a different project for a virtual event, a different project, and he said, "Let's do a carnivore project." And instantly, I knew it was the right thing to do because it's purposeful and it matters so much. And I can't believe that I've gone my whole life, even though I researched and studied and went on retreats and did all kinds of education on wellness and health things, I never even heard of it, ever. And even my husband, I mean, he heard whisper of it. I think he said he watched it could have been an Anthony Chafee. I'm sorry if I don't remember which doctor, but one of them. He saw something that they had published and he just blew on by it, right? It was just foreign for him too. It wasn't until sometime later that a friend of ours told him a lot more detail and the friend's not carnivore, but Lane latched onto it for dear life and it worked. Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing. It has. I've been on it for 4 years, and I've had just in the last 2 years, I've had over 30 inches melt off my body. You know,
Wow.
like because I
That's
was just
huge.
going back and just looking at old measurements and did
Yeah.
the math, and it was over 30 inches. And I'm not even really. I mean, I'm just doing the same thing that I've always done day after day. and
Yeah,
but I also don't cheat. I've never cheated on carnivore, and I've been at for 4 years.
that's
So
incredible. That's incredible. I found that I don't really need that variety anymore, not in food, which
yeah, me
I'm
neither.
that shocks me. That shocks me. Right? My variety now is instead of a steak, I'll have ground beef. That's my I'm
Well,
like,
that's what
what happened?
my friend Lori also said that too, like a lot of the people she's helped with like the food that she cooks, that eventually, because they need that transition because a lot of people are afraid of
Mm-hmm.
the lack of variety. And
Mm-hmm.
so when she's doing this, she's noticed that people eventually start gaining the flavor of it. And like now I could just eat beef every day
Yep.
and I wouldn't care. But I like to eat the eggs though too, because the eggs make me feel more filled. But I love beef, so like I could just eat a beef only diet,
Yeah.
if that's what it was, because and only eat when I'm hungry, And
Sure.
but before it was just awful food addiction, and like yeah, there's
Yeah.
so much stuff. I even had like transfer addiction with my sugar addiction, sugar to dairy,
Oh,
fat, and then
yeah.
to volume eating, and I had to overcome all of
Wow.
that. So
Wow. Yeah.
yes,
I'm surprised also that now I'm pretty much a one time a day eater also. Like OMAD.
yes,
I thought that was crazy too. Things
yeah. I'm
early
also
on,
with
I'm
you.
like, you bunch of crazy people.
The most I ever eat is twice a day. Usually it's once a day. I feel best when I eat OMAD.
Yeah. It's it's a miracle worker, and I've jumped on other bandwagons in the past. Things like chiropractic care, holistic, wellness oriented things that people should know are options for them. And I love helping to share that information, right?
Yeah,
Because I worked for chiropractors many years ago. For a little while, I worked for chiropractors. That was my job, was to educate the public on how that could help them, how the nervous system works, and why they should consider, because back in the day, well, it's getting better, right? But there was a time when that was quackery,
right,
and that's of course where carnivore is at now. It's like you're extremists
right,
just because you want to
right,
get rid of the junk.
right. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And I think that, um, I do a lot of I'm doing a lot of coaching, and I don't push people like into carnivore. They know I'm a carnivore, but like I think, getting rid of the carbs, lowering the carbs is like the key to good health, and increasing
Mm-hmm.
the fat and the protein. And so I lead people in that direction, and I know like I have a couple of people that I know that are like kind of going in that direction where they've really eliminated, like there's no more fruit anymore. There's just maybe a little bit of vegetables here and there,
Yeah.
and eventually they get it. But I do think you're right, like and I never, it like really opened my eyes when I was talking to Lori about it, that people really do kind of change. Like my taste buds have changed. Like there's stuff
Yep.
that I will do now with food that I never would have eaten before. And so,
Yeah.
it really does naturally just go into that, but it's that limiting belief that we need variety that we're stuck on.
Sure. Well, and that we need variety, and that we really can't live without some of those junky things.
Right.
I don't. Several months back, I had some. So one of my favorite things when I was young, we're talking 21, right? Like even younger, was coconut cream pie. So several months back, we were at this restaurant, and they had this beautiful coconut cream pie, just beautiful, sitting there. I'm like, I think I'll try some. I was so shocked. I didn't like it. I didn't finish it. I didn't want it. I was like, that's never going to happen
Wow.
again. Right? Like I just it's and I'm so grateful for that, honestly, because I had read, like Wheat Belly and other books. I had read things in the past about how it's not ideal to be eating the standard American diet. I was not uneducated about that. But to pull
Right.
myself away took eating the nutrient dense food first, right? It wasn't like deprive myself of cake, it was eat lots of beef. That the desire for anything else went away.
Yes.
It's miraculous.
Yes, I know. And
Yeah.
I love that, you're taking this into a conference, a carnivore conference, and just like sharing it with people so that they can educate themselves and figure out whether this is going to be something that is beneficial or viable for them.
Well, sure, and that is the goal. In fact, on Sunday, we're planning on really encouraging the participants that have enjoyed 2 days already. We want them to invite their family and friends. So even if the family and friends are, super skeptical or whatever, we plan on having a featured presentation on Sunday that's for them. Something that's appealing and educational and gentle, because we have to be gentle on this topic. Sometimes we can get a little bit like fired up, and that's actually part of the theme of our event is fire. We love being on fire with this topic and sharing it with everyone. It's important. And we're enthusiastic, and we're just so excited about the changes we see for people. And at the same time, it is so foreign to them that we do want to be gentle. And the event is designed to be family friendly, non polarizing, encouraging, inspirational. The first day is all inspiration, lots of stories, lots of confidence building, like, yes, we can do it. We can share our story. We can be elegant about it too. And then the next day is the day that you're going to be sharing about cravings, because we need a lot of education too. We need that confidence building, that the right things to say, the things to know about why this works, why it matters. We want to be motivated and inspired and build our belief and keep on that path. So we've got the authorities and the experts on Saturday. And Sunday is going to be practical living, like how to navigate the family, how to navigate the restaurants and the holidays and just the variety of things, the shopping, all the stuff that can sometimes trip people up if they're not prepared. That's for Sunday.
Yes. And the food planning, and speaking of food planning, I find it so much easier, like you're saying, the carnivore, it's so much easier. I waste less food too, because when I mass food prep, I'll put some of it away in freezer bags and freeze it, and then I'll get it out
Yep.
later, just warm it up, and it's already
Yeah.
cooked.
Yeah.
And it's just so easy. I mean, I only cook like maybe once to twice a week for like
Mm-hmm.
myself and actually my 10 children. So like,
That's
it's
great.
it's so
That is
easy.
so good.
I just cook in mass, and there it is.
Yeah. I yesterday I had to hit the road. So I opened the fridge and I grabbed a piece of steak, and I'm holding this steak and eating it as I drive down the road. I'm like, who am I? My husband laughs now, right? Because this was like, I wouldn't touch it, remember?
I do that too.
I wish everybody around me could see this. They'd think I was a crazy person, and I like it.
I know. I remember years ago when I went to this like business, like it was like a picnic thing, and they had steak, and nobody told me to bring my own silverware, and so like I'm like, oh, so I just like I had plastic knife and fork, and I'm like, that's not going to work, so I just picked it up
No.
and ate it, like a sandwich.
Yeah.
So like I have no shame, just do it.
It's a convenience food for me now. Who knew?
Yes. So
Yeah, it's a fantastic thing. And yeah, it's fantastic now, right? But
yes, it
for
is. It's
everybody who
awesome.
doesn't know it yet or who needs encouragement, I did a quick question on a group just a few days ago. Well, actually, it might have been a week now. But anyway, the question was, who supports you with your food choices on this journey? I don't remember how I worded it, but the
Mm,
fact of the matter is, the vast majority, more than 75%, said no one. Right? Like me, myself, and I. I'm the one who does.
right.
There was a couple people that said things like my butcher, like kind of clever things. And so another part of this is the community, because not everybody can travel to an event like Meat Stock, fabulous events that are taking place all over the world, really. But not everybody can fly.
Right.
Not everybody can. Maybe it's health, maybe it's money, maybe it's time. We want to bring that
Right.
community energy to the internet, so that no matter where you are, you can really enjoy the power of all of us being together. And you don't have to do this alone. There's no reason to.
And I love that because, like for my own community, is at the video door. Sorry about that. For my own community, like I have we get together once a week and we have support, and it's so important, I think, to have
Yes.
that, because we don't. And that's one of the things I think that keeps us from staying on track. It
Yeah.
draws us, it's our mirror neurons, and we're drawn back into the people that we're around, which is a bunch
Mm-hmm.
of people who eat the standard American diet. I mean, even my own children, I mean, I make healthier choices. I have them, eating more lower carbs type foods, but not stuff I would necessarily
Sure.
eat.
Yeah.
But like, try to keep them healthy because they don't want to eat like a carnivore, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's
Yeah.
nobody that's supporting us. So it's very tough.
It is. It is tough, and that's why with this kind of a virtual event. So some people think, and we have a little tagline: "This is not a webinar. It's not a summit." Because some people, when they think of an online event, they think of just sitting there and watching, talk after talk. This is not like that at all. It's very interactive. People are talking to each other. We pull people up on stage. We have exercises. We have breakout rooms. We have spaces before and after the event for everyone to hang out. We have a community where we're going to have contests and we're going to give away prizes. So we're bringing as much of an in-person energy and some features as we can to the internet. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew you're not just sitting there. You get
Right.
to really make some new friends. Yeah.
Right. Well, the other thing too is if you are busy and doing other things, in my community, I encourage people to come to the meetings anyway. Turn off
Yes.
your camera, turn off your mic, and just
Yeah.
listen. And then you can just walk
Absolutely. Yep.
around, do your day
Right.
with,
Right.
something in your earbud to listen to because it's so important to have that
Right.
contact and this education. Um, because because you just learn so much and you learn so much from listening to other people and their stories.
Right. I know. I cannot wait for Saturday for actually sorry, Friday, where all the stories are going to be. Like that's one of my
Yes,
favorite pieces. Yeah.
I know. I'm excited too. I'm gonna keep stuff off of my calendar so I can try to engage more from my regular law practice and everything else. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
good.
it's true. We'll have replays available. It's an option on the ticket. So, because some people are like, yeah, there's no way that weekend is
Right.
booked, but that's okay. And you can still join in on the community. It can be midnight for that, right? So that's okay.
Right.
Join
Right.
us anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think no matter what people do, that it's going to be worth it. Like, no matter how much you can participate, because just
Yep.
having like the replays available and then you can listen to them as many times as you want,
That's
because
exactly right. Yep.
when you listen to someone and you're learning something new, not only might you miss information because, there's just a lot coming at you, but
Sure.
also too, when you listen to it down the road, you understand it at a different level or in a different way than you did originally because
Yeah.
you're that much farther down the road. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very awesome to have that as a resource.
Absolutely. And for anyone who's felt like food addictions are an issue or they want to share some really good knowledge with family, friends, other people they know that need it too, that's why your part's so critical to what we're doing.
It really is. And it was like the final piece in my journey that made it so that I stopped overeating. The food addiction part, and that understanding is huge. And I think it's a lot of reason why people come to carnivore in the first place because they do have a food addiction problem. Almost everyone does, starting in utero, if their mother ate it,
Man.
and
Wow.
because it's just designed that way. The food is designed to bring us to want it. That's why you
Mm-hmm.
crave that ice cream cone or whatever it is, those
Mm-hmm.
chips. You crave
Yep.
that stuff because it was designed to make you do that. And so it's awful just but it's very powerful to learn why this is happening and then to how we can overcome these things by building new habits and and to not depend on willpower, which we only have like 3 minutes of willpower a day or something like that. So
I've heard that.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's really amazing. I mean, it's what can keep us on the carnivore, and I think that's anybody can follow a food plan on a good day, but on the bad days, they need more than that. They need
Sure.
skills.
And I learned a long, long time ago. And this helped me make a lot of better choices than I was. This is before carnivore, but it was the compared to what? Like I just learned to consider the choices first off. This or that compared to what. And that actually helped me a lot early on when my husband Lane was starting with his journey. I was like, well, okay, I know I kind of want a donut. I never was a huge donut eater, but every once in a while, right? Like I kind of want a donut, but what else could I have instead? And that was enough.
Right.
Just asking that question was enough to help me improve over time.
Right. And it doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing. One thing about food addiction is that the slower we go at recovering from it, the better our success will be. The people
Yeah.
who relapse the most are the ones who push. So, coming at it,
Mhm.
and there's like, levels of decisions and before you make a decision, and you might not be
Yeah.
at the level where, yeah, I'm going to do that, but it's like a level of consideration. And so, if we can respect people for whatever level that they're at and help support them at whatever level they're at until they're ready to go to the next step.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
powerful.
think this is going to be awesome. It really is. I mean, I
Me
think
too.
it's the key to lasting success from, frankly, food addiction. And people don't maybe like the name addiction, but it's really dependence on processed food that we have.
Sure. Yeah, and I saw a meme just earlier today. I'm pretty sure it was that, or maybe yesterday, but anyway, it was talking about how once you get used to the real food, once you get used to carnivore diet, frankly, then other stuff tastes like garbage, and it just does. Like anytime,
Yes.
and that's what happened to me over time, right? Anytime I would try something else, I'd be like, okay, why? Like there was the
Yes.
appeal just disappeared by itself. I'm grateful for that.
Yes, I know. And it just does. I mean, I remember when I was still addicted to carbs when I switched, and I was dependent on whipping cream. I was like making carnivore ice cream, and that stuff wasn't the best, but it was good because at least it was not bad food. And eventually I got off of all of it, like I didn't need that anymore. And now I don't even care. Like I don't even make it for myself anymore. I don't make the egg white bread. Like sometimes I'll make it for my kids or for other people, but I don't make it for myself because I don't need it. It's not even anything that I like that much anymore. But I used to, I used to make it because it was good
It
to
was
have some variety.
it's a transition, right? Like I went through the same exact transition. We were making
Yes.
carnivore ice cream. We were making a really good quality ice cream. We used to eat a bowl of bad ice cream at night in front of the TV as a regular thing. Like I can't believe it
Right.
now. So for sure, transitioning from that habit to carnivore, yeah, we made ice cream, but the same thing has happened to me too. We'll make it and it'll sit in the freezer and I don't touch it. It's just really kind of cool. Kind of
It
cool
is.
that all the and the breads and all the other things, the fancy recipes, they're fun and they're great and they're okay for me. They were great for transition. They're also great for if I'm entertaining or if I want to bring something to
Yes.
somebody else. They're great for that kind of fun thing. It's great to be able to say to somebody, "Can you believe that this is not made with flour?" That's fun, but at the same
Yes.
time, I don't need it either. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. And I'm with you. And that's just the thing that's amazing is that we can come through these things and we can tell people, "Hey, you're here now, but it will get better." And so it's not just, something that I'm experiencing. It's like all of these people say the same thing. So it's obviously, a common theme in people's
Sure.
journeys. And
Yeah.
that is very hopeful.
Well, it's great to know that there's such a thing as a proper human diet and that it's attainable, it's doable, it's actually easier than the other way of
It
eating
is.
by far once you get it all worked out. It's far easier, at least in our household it is. And you just do.
Yes.
You get excited and you want everyone to know it's an option for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, Valerie, I thank you so much for joining me today. And I really appreciate you sharing your journey and your husband's journey and just giving us that behind the scenes look at Carni-Con 2026. I'm really glad that I'm going to be one of this year's speakers. And I just know that this conference is going to be an incredible opportunity for people to learn from, leading experts and that are carnivore, low carb, and just in the metabolic health space. So today, if our conversation inspired you, I'd encourage you to join us at Carni-Con 2026, and you'll find the registration link in the show notes, along with a discount code. So right now you can combine the code with the early bird pricing to save even more on your registration. So I encourage you to get. And if you've enjoyed YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, and if this conversation encouraged you or taught you something new, we'd really appreciate it if you would leave a review and share this episode with someone who could benefit from it. And that's one of the best ways you can help us reach more people with messages of hope, healing, and lasting transformation. And if you'd like to learn more about the Becoming Method, connect with me on social media or listen to past podcast episodes or learn more about my law practice, you'll find all of those links in the show notes as well, as also links that you can reach Valerie. Thank you again for joining us today. And remember that your past doesn't define your future. Every healthy choice you make is a step towards becoming the healthiest version of yourself. And until next time, your keep building on your health, not burnt out.